Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your January 2020 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new, if you're true, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And my Mindset Magic course will be launched on March the 1st or 2nd, depending on the day. I'm really excited about this one. I've been working really hard on it. And it's going to be great. So if you want to be a part of that, stay tuned. There's going to be lots of little tidbits and teasers on the way until we get there. With that said, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, as always, let's get started. Not just a new month, not just a new year, but a brand new decade. What are you going to do with it? Make sure it's something good. Make sure it's something that fulfills you. So let's have a look with your actions and interactions with the world at large. What is going on? What are you doing? You've got the Death card. You are in transition. You understand that you are going through a metamorphosis and a big shift and change. Right out the gate here in January, this is about you putting an end to something. And the reason I say that it's you putting an end to it is because this is in your actions and interactions with the world at large. So this is what you're doing, right? This is about how you move through the world. It's about the things that you consciously decide to put your actions, your energy towards. And the Death card is about ends, it's about transformation, it's about transitions, it's about transcendence in some way, shape or form. Now, the beauty of the Death card is it reminds us that we've already made the decision, that we just need to have the courage to walk the path. So for a lot of you, whatever it is that you're deciding to end here in January, the moment has already passed, right? You already made the decision, now you need to walk the path. This is the month where you really, start as you mean to carry on. Literally, this is the month where you say to yourself, you know what, I'm going into this fully aware, but also completely understanding of what it is that needs to go, what it is that needs to be phased out, and I'm taking no prisoners, right? And this isn't about being ruthless, it's not about being unkind or anything like that. It's about being non-discriminatory, right? And that's the whole premise of death, right? Think about it like this: death doesn't discriminate. It doesn't say, right, well, you've got to go because you're old, or right, you've got to go because you're rich, or it doesn't do any of that. It just is a fact of life. Whatever it is that you are closing, ending, or releasing of this year in the start, right here in the beginning of January, or rather right here in the beginning of the year in January, this is about it's not about judgment, it's not about discrimination, it's not about anything like that. This is just you saying, I know this needs to end in order for me to elevate, in order for me to move forward to where it is that I truly want to be. So let's have a look at your money and materials, your finances, what's going on there. You've got the Ace of Wands, right? Beautiful card for money because it means that you're proactive about making more money. It means that you are being proactive about getting proactive when it comes to money, when it comes to finances. This is a new beginning, but this really feels for me like a lot of you, it's going to be about new ways of making money. And when I say new ways, for a lot of you, this could be you deciding that you need a new job, that you want a different job, that you want to do something that is more in line with who you actually are. The Ace of Wands is about creative endeavors. It talks about books, blogs, performance art. It can talk about romance. It can talk about sex, all of that sort of stuff. Maybe you want to talk about sex. Maybe you want to write about sex. Maybe you're delving into new ways of making money. The Ace is always a new beginning. It's always a fresh start. So when it comes to your money and materials, this is a lot of you really deciding now that what you currently do or how you currently do it no longer works for you. You got this right next to the Death card. card, which means when it comes to your work, when it comes to the way that you earn money, there is a big shift. There's a big change coming here, because it comes through the Death card in your, comes with the Death card, should I say, in your actions. This is a conscious decision on your part to move forward in a different way, which I really like for you. When it comes to your physical health, you've got the Ace of Wands. This is about you being really proactive about your health, about your, you know, your maybe your daily routines, maybe your daily habits, and not just from the viewpoint of, you know, it's a new year, new me, all of that sort of stuff. And not that I have anything against New Year's resolutions, and actually, because now I've started to understand them in a different way, I'm actually going to do a separate video about that, because everybody gets down on them, but I actually think they're kind of important. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, this really feels for me that when it comes to money, when it comes to materials, when it comes to your health, this is about starting new traditions. Right? This is about finding new ways of doing the same stuff that needs to be done, or that, you know, or that you like to do, but finding new and innovative ways in order to do those things. So your communications with the world at large, what's going on in your communication sector? This month you have the Empress. This is beautiful, right? Because it suggests that communication is easy for you this month. It's light-hearted, it's fun, it's free. Probably one of the easier ones, actually. Most of the zodiac are going to be quite sort of like, you know, because we've got lunar eclipse on the 10th, we've got the big conjunction that takes place on the 12th or the 13th, depending on where you are. But for you guys, it's almost like there's something about this energy that kind of excites you. Maybe because it's got that little sort of element of danger, or maybe because you can feel that it is deeply transformative, and that's what you're looking for. So the Empress in your communication says that women, especially this month, are going to be very instrumental in helping you push forward, in helping you understand where it is that you want to go. For those of you that are writers, for those of you that are academics and scholars, women's studies, women's sensuality, women's sexuality, all of those things could be very, very heightened this month. Your own sensuality and sexuality could very well come under the spotlight, and you might find that you're talking about these things in a lot more detail, that you're being a lot more candid about this stuff. This could really come to the fore. For a lot of you, I really feel like this is maybe you're writing a book, maybe your blog starts to take off, maybe you come up with a whole bunch of ideas for new content, but the Empress says that it's easy. Like, this is going to be a doddle for you. It's just easy for you to talk about stuff. Now, if you're a guy and you're watching this and you're thinking, hang on a sec, Raf, this is all about women. No, it isn't. What I'm saying is this energy could be very beneficial for you as well. You know, whether you're a straight male, whether you're a gay male, you know, or whatever part of the rainbow you're under, you know, whatever side of the fence, all of that sort of stuff. This means that women could be especially beneficial to you. Women in positions of power could really help you get ahead. It also suggests that your communication with women is much easier this month, on a personal vibe, on a platonic vibe, on a familial vibe. It just means that your energy is commingling very well with feminine energy. That's specifically for the males among you. But your communications this month is going to be easy. And because you've got it right next to that Ace of Wands, this could very well be where you get those pushes, those nudges, those little kind of touches from the universe to get ahead in some way. So your personal relationships, or your heart and half, you have the Ten of Swords. You need to be prepared to let something go. Now, interestingly enough, the Ten of Swords does represent a finite end. You also have the Death card here. For those of you that are newly in relationships, those of you that are seeing people, the Ten of Swords does say that this may probably come to an end. Either that, or the way that things have been done up until now will need to come to an end. For a select few of you, I'll say this could be a month where you're conceiving. So if you don't want that experience, just be sure to be careful, to be cautious. For those of you that are in established partnerships and relationships, the Ten of Swords, it really does suggest to me that you're looking to do things differently. It's almost like, and you know, this whole thing about starting new traditions, it kind of feels like that you and your partner may reach an impasse this month. And it's interesting because you and Scorpio seem to have this real diversive energy when it comes to relationships. I think relationships are really going to come under fire for you guys this month. And it's really going to see you having to make some very tough and possibly very finite decisions. Interestingly enough, though, I feel like for you guys, it's about freeing up energy. So let's have a look at your weeks of the month. All right, your first week of the month, you have the Tower card, right? So right underneath the Death card, this is about a sudden end, but it's about you choosing abruptly to change tack or choosing abruptly to change directions. This is about you saying, you know what? The path that I'm on isn't necessarily a bad one. It's just not going to get me to where I'd like to be. So I'm going to cease this now. And you could literally be doing this at breakneck speed and everyone's like, okay, whoa, head spin. Like, you know, we were on track for this, this and this. Why have you changed your mind? Try to keep people in the loop as much as you possibly can. I guess what I want to say is this. If you know you've got a left turning coming up, you would indicate, right? Well, most people would indicate. Just be sure, because it looks like you're changing tack very fast this month, right? Just be sure that when you are doing so that you give some indication. If you can't give an indication, at least give a heads up of this is what's happening and this is the reason why. That's not about explaining yourself to anybody. It's just about helping people understand that you are changing your mind or your decision or your direction. Your second week of the month, you have the High Priestess underneath that Ace of Wands. This is about, yeah, I mean, it really is. For some of you, like I said, this is about forging new traditions. For others, this is about your intuition kind of saying to you, it's time. It's time to do this thing. It's time to bring this into light. It's time to make this real. It's time for you to step forward with this. Now, for some of you, for a select few, this could be a secret admirer coming through. Now, because you've got that 10 of Wands there, I kind of feel like for those of you that are newly seeing somebody or for those of you that are partnered, this person coming out of the woodwork could really throw a spanner in the works. And I say that because it could be like, you know, you're with somebody and that's ticking on, you know, maybe not necessarily great, but it's there. And then all of a sudden somebody comes forward and says, look, you know what, I really fancy you and can we go out on a date? Can we go for coffee? I will say this because you've got the High Priestess and she is hidden things revealed. You only have a very short window in order to divulge this. So my advice to you is, once you make the decision, if you make the decision to go on the date, to see this person, you don't have very long before you're discovered. So my advice to you would be to be honourable and either decline or, you know, let the other person that you may already be in something with know that that is the case. Finally, when it comes to your physical health, this is about what you eat. And it's also, you will get intuitive nudges from your body. I want more of this, I want less of that. Listen to it. It's really important for you this month. Your communications, you have your card, the Temperance card, right underneath the Empress. I'm feeling myself. You could really be feeling yourself this month. You could really be all in your own energy. And the beauty of this is, you are communicating authentically about who you are, about what you want, about how you want to proceed, about what life is about for you, right? This is about you being your true authentic self. There's no pretense here whatsoever. So your communication style and the way that you're received this month, people are like, you know, wow, like, all right, fair enough, maybe a little bit harsh, but you're just real. And people are loving that about you this month. You know, they're really receiving that well. Even if sometimes what you're saying is a little bit harsh, or the way that it comes across might be a bit like, oh, okay, sorry, you're very well received. You know, it's a nice energy. It really is. Then finally, with your fourth week of the month, you have the Hanged Man. There is definitely something coming to a close. This is not something that you are to cling to because it is the Hanged Man. You do have the Death card and you do have the 10 of Swords. This really does feel for me that something is coming to an end and you're going to have to let it. So it could be that you're bouncing between those two energies of I'm either going to end it myself, or when it ends, I'm just going to step back and allow it to end. All right, this really does look like that is coming to fruition for you this month. Let's have a look and see what your key to the month is. All right, it's jumped straight out. Your key to the month is the Tower. You are changing your mind. You are changing tack. There are there could be sudden inspirations, but there could also be sudden ideas and sudden changes of direction for you this month. And the feeling that I get from this, it's not necessarily going to be so much that this is external events. I kind of feel like this is happening inside you, and you're just saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm going for broke. I'm doing everything different this year. Whatever the tradition was, the tradition is now this. You either get on board or you don't, you know. And I don't feel like it's an ultimatum. I feel like it's more a case of you're just letting people know this is how things are going to be from now on. Very, very interesting cards. Very, very exciting, very dynamic month. It's gonna have some moments, so I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.